Summer 2011. Canadian First Air Flight 6560 is coming to the end of its 2-hour journey, flying from Yellowknife Airport to Resolute Bay. It's an extremely remote part of northern Canada, with a tiny population, only about 200 people.
We charter the flights to bring in food and groceries for the hotel operations. We fly our staff in and out, same as you'd go to a corner store and buy what you need and bring in when you need it.
Among the 11 passengers on board this small craft are his 2 granddaughters, sisters 6-year-old Cheyenne Ekoluk and 7-year-old Gabrielle Pelkey. They're returning from a summer visit with their dad. Their mum is at the airport, waiting for them to land.
They come in whenever we have planes coming in or they want to come up and visit, so 3-4 times a year. Oh, they love flying. Cheyenne was a go-getter and not afraid of anything. She'd climb great heights, fall and get back up. And Gabrielle, the older one, was more quiet and studious. They got along very, very well.
Also on board is geology student Nicole Williamson, who is on her way to start a new job in Resolute Bay. In the cockpit is Captain Blair Rutherford. He's been with First Air for more than 15 years, a veteran with almost 13,000 hours of flight time. On his right is his co-pilot, First Officer David Hare, who has already clocked up almost 5,000 hours of flight time. Today, the visibility is very poor. It isn't safe to land by sight, so they engage Autopilot to guide them in. The Instrument Landing System, or ILS, uses ground-based radio beacons to guide the plane to the runway. Both the captain and his co-pilot have no reason to worry. They have used the ILS landing system many times in the past.
Gear down.
Gear down.
It was the first officer who began to recognize by looking at all the other data through the instruments that something was wrong.
We're off to the right a little.
All right.
Co-pilot Hare is concerned, but Captain Blair Rutherford is unfazed.
Full deflection.
It's captured. 10-3 is the localizer.
He still believed the aircraft was in autopilot and that the autopilot was performing the way it was supposed to and was going to get him to the right place.
But the GPS reading warns they're off course.
It's not captured. GPS says off to the right. Have we done something wrong?
Hare fears the autopilot hasn't locked onto the ILS.
Standard procedure would be, okay, get the airplane up above the ground and figure out why things are wrong.
We'll continue the approach.
Captain Rutherford puts his faith in the autopilot and initiates the landing procedure, ignoring further warnings from his co-pilot.
We have full deflection on GPS. We should go left.
No.
Aren't we too far to the right?
Hare's objections continue to fall on deaf ears.
To just put your head down and continue to do something like that, odds are you're going to end up with a catastrophic ending.
Just over the shoreline.
With the craft sinking lower, Hare gets increasingly anxious.
Blair, I don't like this.
The sink rate alarm adds to Hare's fears. The autopilot is taking them dangerously close to terrain.
When you get a sink rate alarm, it says that the airplane is descending at a rate faster than the system believes is safe.
A second warning to abort landing.
The minimums alarm means that if you don't see the runway, you must immediately initiate a go-around.
Go around.
The captain doesn't relent until it's too late.
Go and thrust!
the aircraft had landed on top of the hill and spread over about a quarter mile of debris.
Just 2 of the adults narrowly survive. A middle-aged man, Robin Wiley, and the young student, Nicole Williamson. Out of the rubble, a child emerges, 7-year-old Gabrielle Pelkey. She has only minor injuries.
Well, she was laying there, not crying or anything. She had a gash about 3 inches on her forehead. Otherwise, she was good. Tough little girl.
But her sister is not so lucky. Cheyenne Ekaluk has perished. The terrible reality dawns on Gabrielle.
The first thing she said was, "It's going to be tough being an only child." She realized she had lost her sister, so. It was bad. It has deep, lasting effects. There's not a day goes by without us talking or thinking of her.
The small community of Resolute Bay is left in shock. How could such a horrific tragedy have happened? Pilots learn to trust technology. Could Autopilot really have let them down?